Ever wondered how to blow up your YouTube channel from the very beginning? Well, I've spent the last 30 days studying YouTubers who managed to go viral with their first video. So today I'm gonna break down the most important thing to focus on, highlight the common mistakes new channels need to avoid, and reveal how much time and effort you'll need to do this successfully. But first, I wanna show you proof of multiple small channels who managed to blow up with just one video. So let's go back to 30 days ago, where I had just uploaded a new video on my channel. I had put a lot of effort into this video, but the next day when I went to check how the video performed, I was met with disappointment. The video failed epically and was actually the worst performing videos out of my last 10 uploads. I jumped to YouTube immediately and started searching for guides on how to get more views. And that's when I came across multiple small channels who were getting crazy views. This guy has 2 videos and got 34,000 views on his first video. And this guy has 2,000 subs and consistently gets over 10K views. And this other guy only has 2 uploads but managed to get 30,000 and 50,000 views on his first 2 videos. Now you might be thinking that 30,000 views is nothing crazy, but keep in mind that this guy only has 3,000 subscribers. And he probably had 0 subscribers when he uploaded his first video. So the fact that he outperformed his subscriber count by more than 10 times is way more impressive than somebody with 1 million subs getting the same amount of views. So what have these small channels been doing to blow up on YouTube? Well, after looking through these case studies, I noticed a secret trick that they were using. Now, it's not quite this magical superpower, but there's one key metric on YouTube that comes pretty close. So I want you to go to the YouTube Studio app, click on Analytics, and then go to the Audience tab. Now, you will see this stat right here called Returning Viewers. And this stat is basically anyone who has watched 2 or more videos in the last 28 days. And this is a very good sign to the YouTube algorithm because it shows that your videos are good enough to bring people back to the platform. And this then makes YouTube more money, and we all know that the only thing YouTube really cares about is making more money. But how can you boost this number? Well, you can use one of YouTube's most overpowered tools, the end screen call to action. Have you ever watched a YouTube video where they tell you to check out another video on the channel and then these cards pop up on the end screen? Well, they are actually doing this wrong because there's a better way which I will share with you now. You see, most YouTubers will let YouTube automatically select the video that pops up on the screen, but what we're gonna do is pick this video ourselves, and we're gonna make it so that the viewer can't help but watch the next video. So instead of watching just one video, your viewers will watch 2, 3, or maybe even 4 videos. And to set this thing up, we will use a simple 3-step call to action framework, which I will show you right now. So step 1 is the transition line. Here you want to say something that continues the video naturally. You could even recall something you mentioned earlier in the video. So here's an example. Earlier in the video, I mentioned that editing is a great way to improve your watch percentage. Now after this transition line, you have the intrigue line. So here you want to say something that makes the viewer want to watch the next video. And you could do something like this, but everything you just learned is useless if nobody watches your video in the first place. After this intrigue line, you now have the call to action line. So you would then say, so check out this video where I'll show you how to make thumbnails that people just can't help but click. You see how this 3-part framework makes it so that the viewer is way more likely to click on the next video? This is the secret to getting your viewers to binge watch your channel. But what are the common mistakes that new channels need to avoid? So if you watched my channel for a while, you probably noticed that I started deleting old videos. The reason why will make sense in a bit, but let's go back to when I first started this YouTube channel. So nearly 2 years ago, I began this channel as a way to document my journey as an entrepreneur. And as many beginner entrepreneurs do, I was jumping back and forth between different side hustles. I made Instagram brand accounts, I did freelance writing, and I even tried to start a marketing agency. So naturally, my content was all over the place too. And the problem with this was that I ended up segmenting my audience. So when I posted a video about affiliate marketing, the people that subscribed for copywriting content weren't interested. And that ended up hurting my click-through rate, which then ended up hurting my views. So I needed to pick just one niche and stick with it. Fortnite balls. But how do you know what niche to choose? Well, let me tell you a story which I think will help you with this decision. So flashback to 7 years ago, and I was looking online for side hustles to make more money. And Instagram fan pages were the trending thing at the time. So I decided to start an Instagram account, but I needed to know what niche to choose. And it seemed like dogs were popular, so I made a dog account. Now, I never actually owned a dog before, which will become a big problem later down the line. But surprisingly though, I actually had some success. I grew both pages to over 100,000 followers, and I made a dropshipping store where I sold dog beds and toys. This business started making decent money, and I was bringing in around $200 per day at one point. But remember how I mentioned the fact that I never owned a dog before? Also, I'm not even that much of a dog fan, to be honest. I think cats are better. But I was starting to have problems with the business. Shipping times were too long, I had products getting lost, which then resulted in refunds, and when it started getting hard, I got burnt out and lost motivation. So I was sitting on a valuable asset but had no interest in working on the business. So the lesson here is when picking your YouTube niche to go with something that you actually have a passion for, because you're gonna get burnt out if you don't enjoy it. And I've learned that the hard way. In fact, I still didn't learn the lesson the first time. I had to make the same mistake again until I took it seriously. But that's a story for another day. So fast forward to a few months ago, and I was faced with the decision of niching down my YouTube channel. And based on the lessons I learned, I decided to go with the YouTube growth niche because that was what I was actually passionate about. But the problem was that I had successful copywriting videos that were still bringing in consistent views. So it was a hard decision for me to just delete them. But thinking logically, it had to be done because the videos were just gonna hurt my channel in the long run. Ever lay awake at night wondering how long it will take until you finally get views? Well, that yearning for progress is a feeling that everyone has experienced, and it's relevant to almost anything in life. Do you remember that feeling of trying to level up in a video game? I certainly do, because I was addicted to League of Legends. And believe it or not, but all those years of grinding in video games has taught me a lot about YouTube. So flashback 10 years ago, and I'm on the edge of my seat, ready to smash my computer after yet another just frustrating game of League of Legends.
I'm gonna break my monitor, I swear!
Those rank promos from bronze to silver are no joke. And if you're scratching your head, just know that bronze is pretty much the worst rank in the game. So anyone who's been stuck in those lower ranks, you know what the struggle is like. Trash teammates, smurfs on the other team. It was easy to blame everything around me, but deep down, I had to face it. I was just trash at the game. Then came the YouTube tutorials where I learned little tips and tricks. I'd take notes, apply new strategies, and one day everything would just click. I finally won my promos and moved up to silver rank. And achieving that felt amazing. But imagine translating that same grind and dedication to YouTube. Just like in video games where a good player can create a new account and just destroy all the noobs. If Mr. Beast started a new channel from scratch, I guarantee he'd get to 10 million subs within a year. Why? Because it's all about the skills that you learn. So can you blow up with your very first YouTube video? Maybe, but it's rare. If you have Mr. Beast level skills, then you certainly will. But you need to think of YouTube as a video game, one where with each upload you use it as an opportunity to improve your skills. As long as you're leveling up with each video, success will come with time. So earlier in the video, I mentioned the epic call to action framework. But if your videos suck, then it's not going to work because the viewers are just going to click off before they even get to the end screen. So watch this video on the editing hacks YouTubers use to keep you watching until the very end.